Actually, this is my first interview, so I'm really nervous. I don't know what kind of art I'm supposed to describe it. It's mostly like Thai traditional art style that present the story about Western stories. I'm an art student from Silpakon universities, and this is my 5th year in universities. To begin with, about Thai art, right? I'm not so familiar with Thai art before I enter the universities because I'm Christian. And if you can see, all the Thai art are in temple, right? It's the Buddhist stories too. So the art and the story behind it is so far from me. And after I entered the universities, I got so into Thai art and that I want to present this art in the way that more familiar and more common to people like me who not believe in Buddhist, something like that. It is connected to my work last year's about the tragedies in Greek mythologies. If I want to conclude all the tragedy, that it is something occurred because the lack of love. So in this work, I'm trying to find a story that why the love is not successful. So in this story about Psyche and Cupid, it's about the uncertain that dishonesty that they do to each other. So I use this story to present. It is like the story of the Beauty and the Beast too, as I say in the story. I'm doing my final thesis now. Fun because there's some problem in my latest work that I feel that my art is not communicating the stories too much. If I'm not telling the story, or if the person who looking my work doesn't know the story in the first place, they will not understand my story. So these years I try to make my art more understandable when they see the work, not the story. The story for this year is all about love and the reason why the relationship is not successful. So all of it will be about the Greek mythologies and similar to our today relationship that happens. Not really, not so personal, but at first I study into the Christian belief, and I see that all the belief and all the teaching is all about love. So I found that the love in Christian are so idealistic to me, and I see that there is so many more love that doesn't successful and doesn't all happy like the scripture tells us. So I try to present it in another way. For now, it is watercolor and a mix of the natural color. The result is look like the watercolor and the watercolor that more not so transparent like watercolor. Is it understandable? I'm not sure. I tried before, but not that good, I think. I prefer hand-on work, but I do accept that there is something more in digital art too that I'm not understand yet, and I'm trying to do it. Between digital art and hand-on art, right? I prefer hand-on, like it's more connectable to myself when I'm doing work. I think I will work for maybe 1 or 2 years and I will continue my master degrees or just short class. I think I will go to Japan. I'm so interested in their techniques. Do you know Asuko Koto, the Japanese artist? Their work, I think it is the mix of watercolor in the silk. So the result is kind of, the frame is more transparent and the texture is very interesting. Yeah. First, I got the book, his photo books. I think that if I got the opportunity to went to his museum, this illustration is so big that I think it make me feel something more than illustration. But his technique and style is just so interesting to me. And if you see in my work, there is so much detail that I got from him too. France will be very interesting to me too, but I think I like the Asian culture more. So I think maybe I will start in Asia, maybe China or Japan. For now, I think when I do my art, I'm just think that I want to create this art to put in my house. So this will be the best piece for me. Every piece of my work is just doing for my house, my own house. So I'm put all my effort to it, and I work hard for every pieces I done. So I think this will be some kind of advice for people who do art too, that to put your heart into their art, our art. I think. Thank you so much for the interview too. Bye bye.